My dear friends, today I will be discussing about an important cardiological disease, that is mitral stenosis. It is one of the important or common cause of valvular heart disease. So what is mitral stenosis? It is a valvular heart disease or valvular deformity which involves mostly the mitral valve. Mitral valve is a atrioventricular valve which is present on the left heart between the left atrium and left ventricle. So during the diastole, because of opening of the mitral valve, blood from the left atrium enters into the left ventricle, and that is mediated via opening of mitral valve, so which is present on the left side of the heart on the left atrioventricular aperture. Now mitral stenosis means narrowing of this mitral valve or mitral orifice of the heart. So it is one of the important valvular heart disease that is associated with narrowness or smaller aperture of the mitral valve of the heart. So this is called mitral stenosis, or in simple term, the mitral valve undergoes stenosis, because of which there is a defect in the opening of the mitral valve during the time of diastole, and because of that there is a defect in ventricular filling, especially left ventricular filling is hampered, and the pathology of the disease is because of defect in the ventricular filling, leading to decrease in cardiac output. Now, what is the cause of mitral stenosis? The mitral stenosis is mostly because of rheumatic heart disease or one of the important complication of rheumatic fever. So rheumatic fever as well as rheumatic heart disease are responsible for causing mitral stenosis or narrowing of the mitral orifice, because as one of its complication. Now what is the normal surface area of mitral valve or mitral aperture? It is 4 to 6 centimeters square. But in case the mitral orifice area, surface area of the mitral orifice decreases less than 2 centimeters square, then the mitral stenosis develops. In initial stage, the sign symptoms may not be developed when the aperture size is less than 2 centimeters square. It may not be enough to cause or to produce various sign symptom of the disease, and the person may be, or individual or the patient may be asymptomatic. But as the mitral stenosis aperture or its surface area gradually decreases, it becomes less than 1 centimeter square, the sign symptoms gradually starts appearing, because it creates pressure on the left atrium, and which affects the hemodynamics and responsible for causing pulmonary hypertension, defective filling of the ventricles at the end of diastole, which hampers the cardiac output as well as ejection fraction. So that's why the treatment also of mitral stenosis also depends on the severity of the mitral stenosis or severity of the disease. Now it has been found that mitral stenosis is responsible for creating a very high gradient of blood pressure between the left atrium and left ventricle, because mostly at normal or physiologically in normally healthy subjects, the gradient between the left atrium and left ventricle during diastole almost becomes equal. But because of mitral stenosis or in MS patients, there is a high gradient between the left atrial pressure and the left ventricular pressure, and because of this high gradient only, the sign symptom or the complication of the mitral stenosis occurs. Now because of the stenosis or smaller size of the aperture or defect in opening of the mitral valve, blood from the left atrium cannot open into the or enters into the left ventricle during the time of diastole, and because of that there is gradual accumulation of blood in the left atrium, which increases the left atrial pressure, and with gradual rise of left atrial pressure it leads to left atrial enlargement, which ultimately leads to atrial fibrillation, because atrial musculature become weak, and because of that their development of atrial fibrillation, where what is atrial fibrillation? Here atria will fire at higher rate, and it will lose its synchronicity with the ventricle, and that's why it will leads to left atrial fibrillation, which ultimately increase the chance of thromboembolic phenomena. It also stimulates clot formation in the left atrial chambers, and through this clot or blood clot or thrombus maybe enters the systemic circulation, and ultimately it may lead to stroke or cerebrovascular accident also. So even mitral stenosis, it may complicate to form stroke or cerebrovascular accident also. So just we can understand that mitral stenosis can even lead to stroke or other systemic or neurological complication also. It has been found that the disease, if it is present in women, it will be exacerbated during pregnancy, because in pregnancy the demand of blood flow and heart rate may be a bit higher, and when the individual or the subject or the patient undergoes rapid increase in heart rate, these will ultimately create the gradient, and the sign symptoms of mitral stenosis will be exacerbated. Similarly, with exercise, the sign symptom of mitral stenosis will be increased. Thus, the sign symptoms of mitral stenosis will be exacerbated or increased in case of pregnancy as well as in exercise. So this is all about mitral stenosis. So what is mitral stenosis? Again I am telling, it is simply the stenosis of mitral valve, or it is narrowing of the mitral orifice or orifice of the mitral valve, which is present on the left side of the heart between the left atrium and the left ventricle, or in the atrioventricular orifice. And one of the important cause or most common cause is rheumatic fever or rheumatic heart disease. Now we will discuss about the pathophysiology of the mitral stenosis. What is the pathophysiology? As I told, when the orifice size, normal orifice size of mitral valve is 4 to 6 centimeter square. The sign symptom of mitral stenosis, if it is less than, immediately it is less than 4 centimeter square, the sign symptom may not develop. When it is less than 2 centimeter square, the sign symptoms may not develop, because the stenosis may not be severe enough to cause the sign symptom. So person can remain asymptomatic or without any sign symptom. But problem starts when the mitral orifice decreases less than 1 centimeter square. When the area of the mitral valve decreases less than 1 centimeter square, then the problem starts. Because when the mitral aperture is less than 1 centimeter square, the stenosis is severe enough, and that's why blood from the left atrium cannot enter into the left ventricle during the time of diastole, which is a part of cardiac cycle. And that's why there is gradual accumulation of blood in the left atrium, which increases the left atrial pressure. And this left atrial pressure will be transmitted through pulmonary veins via backward pressure. Left atrial pressure, when is increased, will give a backward pressure on the pulmonary veins, and it will transmit it to the pulmonary artery and leads to pulmonary hypertension. And one of the sign symptom of mitral stenosis is dyspnea, or difficulty in breathing, or shortness of breath. So that is because of the pulmonary hypertension. Beside pulmonary hypertension, if it persists, it can increase the or transmit the pressure to the pulmonary vasculature and even in pulmonary capillaries. So when there is accumulation of or increased blood pressure or increased pressure in the pulmonary capillary or capillary hydrostatic pressure, it will lead to edema in the pulmonary alveoli. So there will be accumulation of fluid in the lung or alveoli, and because of that there is the difficulty in breathing. and shortness of breath. So dyspnea may be there. So even mitral stenosis can lead to pulmonary edema. Sometimes it may also lead to rupture of some of the capillaries and leading to coughing out of blood, and hemoptysis can be seen. So hemoptysis, one of the sign symptom of mitral stenosis, because of some rupture of the capillaries, because of capillary hydrostatic pressure increased or pulmonary arterial hypertension, and at the same time there may increase risk of pulmonary edema, and because of that, or because of the pulmonary edema, there is increased risk of dyspnea or shortness of breath. Again, because of high pressure in the left atrium, because when the mitral stenosis is very severe, the aperture area is less than 1 centimeter square, then blood from the left atrium cannot enter into the left ventricle. That's why there is a more accumulation of blood in the left atrium. So these increase the left atrial pressure very much, and persistent left atrial pressure rise leads to gradual dilatation or enlargement of the left atrium. So when the left atrial size gradually enlarge, the muscles become very thin and they become very weak, and there is increased risk of development of ectopic. Ectopics, which is nothing but a source of generation of electrical rhythm of the heart. So because of local generation of electrical rhythm, the atria becomes independent in its rhythm, and it leads to discharge at higher rates. Then atria will contract at very higher rate, maybe around 100 to 150 per minute, and it loses its synchronicity with the ventricle, and which ultimately leads to the one of the important complication of mitral stenosis, that is atrial fibrillation. Now because of atrial fibrillation, there is increased risk of clot formation or thrombus formation in the left atrium, and this clot formation or thrombus formation, once formed, because there is a gradual ineffective contraction in the left atrium, there is turbulence of the blood, which ultimately leads to thrombus formation, and because of thrombus formation or blood clot formation, there is a risk of transferring of this thrombus into the systemic circulation, and ultimately it can enlarge in cerebrovascular areas or cerebral vasculatures, leading to stroke or cerebrovascular accident. Besides, it can also lead to other thromboembolic phenomena or thrombotic events. Thus, mitral stenosis can even lead to atrial fibrillation, which can easily complicate to give rise to stroke or cerebrovascular accident. Besides, because of gradual rise of left atrial pressure, it will give a back pressure on the pulmonary artery through pulmonary vein, because backward pressure theory, and because of that there is increased rise of pressure in the pulmonary artery, which leads to pulmonary hypertension. And this pulmonary hypertension, if it remains persistent hypertension for prolonged period, may leads to right ventricular hypertrophy, which eventually leads to right ventricular failure. Because of pulmonary hypertension, right ventricle has to pump blood against stronger resistance. So there is a volume overload on the right ventricle, and these will ultimately may lead to right ventricular hypertrophy. Because of the hypertrophy, finally it may lead to right ventricular failure. Right ventricular failure eventually leads to left ventricular failure. Besides, when the stenosis of the mitral stenosis is very severe, then blood from the left atrium cannot enter into the left ventricle. So there is an ineffective ventricular filling at the end of diastole, which will decrease the end diastolic volume, and that's why, because of decrease in the end diastolic volume, there is a decrease in cardiac output, and that's why ultimately there is an inefficient pumping action of heart. Ventricle may contract normally, but since the volume of blood accumulated is less, so cardiac output will be less, and that sign symptoms may be some of the sign symptoms of mitral stenosis may be because of the low cardiac output, because of the less amount of blood that is entering into the ventricle. So these are the various concept or hemodynamics or pathophysiology of mitral stenosis. Besides, left atrial pressure directly or indirectly signify the severity of the disease. If the left atrial pressure is more higher or gradually increases, then the severity of the disease or severity of the mitral stenosis is also increasing. So ultimately, severity of the disease directly proportional to the left atrial pressure. So higher the left atrial pressure, more severe is the stenosis, or more severe is the mitral valvular stenosis. So that is the pathophysiological concept of the disease. Now we will discuss about the various sign symptoms of mitral stenosis. What are the various sign symptoms? Now, as I told, mitral stenosis may lead to, in severe cases, when the orifice size or mitral valvular aperture size become less than 1 centimeter square, it will create a defect in or huge gradient between the left atrial pressure and the left ventricular pressure. So left atrial pressure will be very much high because during the time of diastole, blood from the left atrium cannot enter into the left ventricle. So there is a gradual rise of left atrial pressure, and because of that there is a increased risk of pulmonary hypertension, which ultimately leads to right ventricular failure as well as right ventricular hypertrophy. That's why sometimes in severe mitral stenosis, the sign symptoms of heart failure may be there. What are those? There may be dyspnea on exertion or shortness of breath on exertion. There may be orthopnea. Orthopnea means on lying down or lying straight, there may be shortness of breath. Also there may be PND. What is PND? Paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. Paroxysmal means sudden, nocturnal means at night time, and dyspnea means shortness of breath. So there may be sudden shortness of breath at night. So that may be various sign symptoms or manifestation of heart failure, maybe right heart failure, and which may be also seen in case of mitral stenosis. Besides, there may be palpitation. Palpitation because there may be atrial fibrillation. So palpitation or irregular heart rhythm or irregular cardiac rhythm may be there. So that's why palpitation can be seen. Besides, there may be chest pain. Chest pain because it may be because of dyspnea or SOB. At the same time, angina-like pain may be there because the cardiac output is not sufficient, so that the heart wall may be deficit of getting blood flow by the heart itself, and that's why because of decrease in the cardiac output, the even heart muscles, they may not get the right amount of blood, so anginal pain or some chest pain may be there. Besides, because of right ventricular hypertrophy also, some chest pain may be there. Besides, there may be hemoptysis. What is hemoptysis? Hemoptysis is actually coughing out of blood. Yes, or blood in the sputum. So this is maybe because of severe pulmonary hypertension, which can be seen in case of severe mitral stenosis because of gradual rise of the left atrial pressure, which gives a backward pressure on the pulmonary veins, which ultimately increase the pulmonary hypertension or pulmonary blood pressure, and which ultimately increase the pulmonary capillary hydrostatic pressure, leading to some rupture of the pulmonary capillaries, which so blood may enter into the alveoli, and ultimately they may come out in the form of hemoptysis. Besides, dysphagia may be seen. In severe mitral stenosis, the left atrial enlargement may be so severe that it can compress the esophagus, and that's why the person may or the patient may complain of difficulty in swallowing, because enlarged left atrium may compress the esophagus, so food cannot enter properly, or food has to face a resistance while it is passing or entering into the GIT. So that's why hemoptysis may be there as well as dysphagia may be there. Besides, thromboembolic phenomena may be there. Sometimes stroke may be there because with severity of the mitral stenosis, there is increased risk of left atrial enlargement, which increase the risk of atrial fibrillation, and because of atrial fibrillation, there is increased risk of thromboembolic phenomena. Besides, sign symptoms of atrial fibrillation may be there because sometimes, as I told, mitral stenosis may complicate to form or to give rise to atrial fibrillation because of these sign symptoms of atrial fibrillation, like irregular pulse, then ECG abnormality, then thromboembolic phenomena, etc. can be seen, or abnormal in the A waves, so various abnormality can be seen. Beside, some sign symptoms of right heart failure can be seen. Why sign symptoms of right heart failure? This is because consistent or very severe mitral stenosis leads to the rise of left atrial pressure, which reflect into the pulmonary artery, leading to the rise of pulmonary blood pressure, also called pulmonary hypertension. And persistent hypertension ultimately give a pressure on the right ventricle, which becomes hypertrophied and ultimately leads to right ventricular failure. So sign symptoms of right ventricular failure may be there. And what are those? So there is the increased risk of hepatomegaly, because right heart failure or right ventricular failure will gradually increase the backward pressure on the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, and which is transmitted to the veins of the liver and ultimately leads to the chronic venous congestion of liver, which ultimately leads to hepatomegaly. Besides, edema can be there, pedal edema can be there, and ascites, accumulation of fluid in the abdomen may be there. So these are the sign symptoms of right heart failure, which may be one of the important complications of mitral stenosis. Besides, one of the important clinical features is shortness of breath as well as fatigue on doing exercise and in pregnant ladies. So those pregnant ladies, if they have mitral stenosis, and as the pregnancy continues or gradually proceed, there is an increased sign symptom or fatigueness or increased presentation of weakness and fatigue in pregnant women who are suffering from mitral stenosis. Besides, those who want to do exercise, with exercise there is an increased risk of sign symptom, that is fatigue as well as weakness. So these are the various sign symptoms of mitral stenosis. Now, as the severity of mitral stenosis increases, the sign symptom of mitral stenosis also become more prominent, because various complications of mitral stenosis also become prominent as the severity of the mitral stenosis is increased, or as the disease gradually progresses and become more severe. There is a high rise of left atrial pressure and more complication of the mitral stenosis will be prominent, and that's why more sign symptoms of right heart failure or atrial fibrillation, thromboembolic phenomena, etc. become more prominent. So these are the various reason or mechanism behind the clinical features and presentation, as well as various sign symptom of mitral stenosis. And we also came from, at the end of this video, we try to clear about the concept of mitral stenosis, and there are many causes that will be discussed in another or next video. Thank you very much.